Who's going to be the Democratic nominee for president in 2020? Plenty of people want to run, but the race is only just getting started. I'm here to give you my list of the top 10 runners and riders and some of their pros and cons. At number 10, Steve Bullock, governor of Montana. Pros: he's a two-term governor from a rural western state. You know, the kind of states that liberal and urban Democrats are supposed to struggle in. Cons: I bet you'd literally never heard of him until I mentioned his name. I mean, Montana? Number 9, Oprah Winfrey. Pros: she's not Steve Bullock, she's Oprah Winfrey. I mean, she's literally Oprah. Millions of women, millions of people love her. Cons: is it really wise for the Democrats to try and replace one inexperienced billionaire TV show host with another? And what would an Oprah presidency even look like? Number 8, Eric Holder, former Attorney General. Pros: he's gotten a lot of buzz recently for his campaign to tackle gerrymandering and defend voting rights. It's a great cause to be associated with. And he'd be the second black president. Cons: is the guy who refused to prosecute the big banks and went after journalists and whistleblowers instead, and who spent 6 years defending drone strikes, the right guy to lead the Democrats in 2020? Seriously? Number 7, Sherrod Brown, Ohio Senator. Pros: he's a Democrat who just got re-elected in Ohio. Ohio! Cons: if left-wing Democrats want a left-wing nominee, why would they pick Sherrod Brown, who no doubt is a genuine lefty, over Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren? Number 6, Cory Booker, New Jersey Senator. Pros: he's young-ish, he's smart, he's a person of color, and he knows how to get the media's attention. Cons: is there such a thing as too much media attention?
Now, I appreciate the comments of my colleagues. This is about the closest I'll probably ever have in my life to an I am Spartacus moment.
Spartacus? Come on. And remember, this is the guy who once defended Bain Capital.
I'm not about to sit here and indict private equity. To me, it's just this, we're getting to a ridiculous point in America. You look at the totality of Bain Capital's record. They've done a lot to support businesses, to grow businesses.
Number 5, Beto O'Rourke, former Texas congressman. Pros: he's young, dynamic, and eloquent.
And I can think of nothing more American than to peacefully stand up or take a knee for your rights, anytime, anywhere, any place.
Beto's literally the superstar of the Democratic Party right now and flush with cash. Cons: he almost beat Ted Cruz in Texas. Almost. He lost. I think you have to go back to Abraham Lincoln to find a loser in a Senate election who went on to be a winner in a presidential election. Number 4, Joe Biden, former vice president. Pros: he's leading in lots of polls. He'll inherit the Obama machine, and he's got unrivaled experience. Cons: he's an all-white dude in a party of women and people of color. And in the age of Me Too and Black Lives Matter, he helped screw over Anita Hill and gave us mass incarceration. Oh, and if you think Trump is the master of gaffes, Bidenisms are the stuff of legend. Remember this?
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent.
Oh, Joe. Number 3, Kamala Harris, California Senator. Pros: like Booker, she's young-ish, she's smart, she's a person of color, and she's also a woman, and from California. She's probably the candidate who most closely resembles the Democratic base. She's also a super sharp former prosecutor who knows how to grill Republicans.
Yes or no?
Well, is there a person you're talking about?
I'm asking you a very direct question, yes or no? That's not my question. My question is, have you had a conversation with anyone at that firm about that investigation? It's a really specific question.
Cons: that whole prosecutor thing might come back to bite her. As California Attorney General, Harris refused to go after current Treasury Secretary and then foreclosure king Steve Mnuchin, despite his One West Bank being accused of widespread misconduct. Instead, she ended up taking a donation from him. Oh dear. Number 2, Elizabeth Warren, Massachusetts Senator. Pros: she's perhaps the strongest progressive voice inside the Democratic Party today. Warren's also a woman, and for a lot of people, electing a woman president is unfinished business. She's ferociously clever and ferociously combative. She knows how to get under Trump's skin.
Donald Trump is a loud, nasty, thin-skinned fraud who has never risked anything for anyone and who serves no one but himself.
Cons: for some reason, Elizabeth Warren, who Trump mocks as Pocahontas, recently decided to put out a video proving she has Native American ancestry. It was a disaster.
Now, the president likes to call my mom a liar. What do the facts say?
The facts suggest that you
absolutely have a Native American ancestor in your pedigree.
She allowed him to get under her skin and embarrassed herself in the process. Can she recover? I hope so. The Democrats need her voice. But at number 1, Bernie Sanders, Vermont Senator. Pros, do you feel the burn? Do you feel it? Because if you want an anti-establishment outsider to take on Trump in 2020, Bernie's your man. Some polls even suggest he's America's most popular politician. Young people literally scream when he comes in the room.
Thank you.
Sanders, lest we forget, was the runner-up in 2016 and has the clearest political vision of any candidate in the race. Cons? Is the US ready for that vision, though? Are Americans up for socialism? We can only hope. Bernie's also got the Joe Biden problem. He's an old white dude. In fact, he'll be 79 come January 2020, which would make him the oldest president ever elected. Is America ready for this?
Not a fan of the banks. They trample on the middle class. They control Washington. And why do they chain all their pens to the desks? Who's trying to steal a pen from a bank? Makes no sense.
Now, if I was a betting man, and I'm not, I'm Muslim, I'd say Bernie Sanders would win the Democratic primaries if they were all held tomorrow. But they're not. And I just gave you my top 10 when there's maybe up to 30 Democrats who ridiculously might run, which means it could be difficult for any single candidate to dominate the race, whether it's Sanders, Warren, Harris, Biden, whoever. And look, anything's possible. Remember, in 2016, 17 Republicans ran for their party's presidential nomination, and the guy from Home Alone 2 won it.
Excuse me, where's the lobby?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
So good luck, Democrats. Good luck.